Well, good morning, and welcome to the Peace to You crew here at Peace Lutheran Church in Arvada, Colorado, 57th and Field, and we're really glad you're here with us today. And again, we have our senior pastor, Pastor Guy Roberts, and I wanted to talk to him a little bit here, and I wanted you to hear what we have planned for this weekend.
Yep.
And it's pretty exciting, you know, when you talked about the 250th anniversary of our nation.
Yeah.
Pastor Guy brought this up in one of our meetings. He says, I'm not seeing a lot about this. What do we need to celebrate? Look what God has done.
Yeah, it's real. I don't know about you out there, but I'm just not seeing. It's kind of a big deal.
It's
Like
huge.
250 years is a long time, and so it's kind of a big celebration, and you're just not seeing a lot out there. So, still trying to learn the Denver area. Maybe it's a culture. Maybe it's different elsewhere in the country, or whatever. But it is what it is. So. I think, though, at the very least, since we live here and we're citizens here and God has placed us here, that we can stop and say thank you to Him for the country we get to live in.
Oh, what an exciting time.
Yeah.
You know.
And you kind of see it, like right now, you see we have visitors from all over the world because of the World Cup.
Right.
And it's just fascinating to listen to their reflections on what they experience here. And it's good to get an outsider's perspective on it. Because we're pretty blessed. I mean, if you haven't traveled anywhere else in the world, this place is pretty incredibly blessed.
Really
and none of us chose to live here. We were all placed here by God.
That's right.
So for better or worse. And I think it's easy to take it for granted, maybe.
It is, and I've done a lot of traveling and around, and you know, we really have a lot of fun in all these different countries and see these different things. But there is nothing like the United States. I mean, there's a comfort here, there's a feeling here, there's just something about this country that just makes you feel good to be part of the country.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I get most out of this. Now, you know, we talked a little bit off air. We were talking about my last trip to the Holland area and to Amsterdam, and a lot of the churches have gone south. You know, they're boarding them up and they're turning them into brothels and all different kinds of things, and it's just really sad. But what made me think, especially when you started talking about the 250th anniversary, you know, when you hear God shed His grace on thee,
Yeah.
how true is that?
Yeah.
I mean, He really has.
And something happened here historically that hasn't happened in the history of the world, where a system was set up that could fix itself.
Right.
So it's not like this country's been perfect in its 250 years of history. It's got a pretty brutal history, just like every country and every region in the world. But we actually had the freedom to do something about it. You know, so slavery was a large part of our life here together in America, and yet over a course of about 100 years, we were able to do something about that.
Absolutely.
And you know, I'm up from a generation where, of course, racism still exists. I mean, that's always going to exist. But like, it wasn't like for me as a child growing up. It wasn't like it was for generations previous.
Right.
You know, I had good friends of all different shades of colors of skin, and it just wasn't an issue for us. And that's a product of a country set up in a way that we could have these freedoms to talk about things, to work through things, in that case, fight about it through the Civil War.
Sure.
And it took a long time, but here we are.
Yes.
You know, that's not normal. That's not normal in the history of the human
It's
world
not.
and of humanity. And here we are. We get to be a part of this country, and so it seems fitting. You know, I can't help but think part of it is there's such a divide in our country right now around politics and our view of how things should be and the rest, that it's probably hindering our ability to be able to celebrate that we get to still live here. I feel like that's, though, something we might disagree on every policy issue. I think we can all agree we're pretty blessed to live here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When I'm going to different countries and things, and I just see, you know, their homes and how small they are. And I think my home, it's a lot larger than what I need for just myself and my wife. It's more than what we need. But just to have running water, to have, you know, I was talking to the people that were in Costa Rica here last week from our church, you know, and they said, we had no hot water. we can't fathom that. You know, I know hot water, really?
Yep.
But they had just cold water showers and cold water. And it's things like that that we take so much for granted.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I would say that's probably, that's one of the traps too of our culture, is that we place so much emphasis on the prosperity we've experienced too, so we are incredibly blessed. But when we were in Guatemala last year, those people are so content and happy.
Yes,
They don't sit around feeling sorry for themselves. They work hard. They're family oriented. Their priorities are correct,
Yeah,
and
they
it's so it's fascinating. But I would still rather live here.
Oh, absolutely.
like-
There's
Yeah.
no doubt about it. Yeah, especially
Yeah.
since we just went to a baseball game last night.
Yeah.
You don't get to see baseball other places.
Oh, man.
But the Lord has been very, very good to us. And, from day one here in America, you feel His presence. I know I feel His presence. And all that He has done for us, it is really time to celebrate. It is something that we should do. And we should be down on our knees thanking God that we
Yeah.
live where we do. And like you said, there's issues, there's problems. Everybody has issues and problems, but we can get past that.
Yeah.
We can overcome that.
Yeah, and if you come, which you're invited, we'd love to have you come worship with us this
Yes.
Sunday on July 5th. We'll have one worship service all together at 10 o'clock. But if you come, what you're going to hear is us giving thanks to God for providing. Every person lives in some country under some government in the world, and all of them belong to God. He rules them all and has established them exactly how He intends. But it's okay for us. Like, I'm giving you permission for us to celebrate and give thanks to God for providing this place for us, where we get to come, we get to live and be together and all the rest. And because there has not been a place like this in the history of humanity. You go through and study all of human history, you will not find a place that affords its people this much freedom, this much prosperity, this much. So we are blessed. There's no other way to say
That's
it.
right.
And we get to use those blessings to bless others for sure. We send one team down to Dominican Republic to build a home for a family, and we're going to send 3 more in a couple months. We get to do stuff like this, and we should do stuff like this. And peace, for those of you aware, peace, we all the offerings that we receive to do His work here in Denver area, 10% right away goes beyond ourselves to bless other ministries. And I think it was something like 21 ministries that were just
Yes.
approved. And it works out to be about $156,000 that goes just off the top beyond to help other ministries, other services in the community, and the rest. And so with this prosperity, with this blessing, comes the responsibility to give beyond ourselves, to care, to serve. And so we take that serious too. But hey, again, praise God. We're going to come, we're going to sing patriotic songs, we're going to have a little mini party. Everyone will be probably pretty tired from their actual parties on the 4th. But we're going to have a little mini party and just have fun with the fact that God has given us this country for 250 years.
Yeah, and you all have met Dr. Jill in the past. She's our director of music here, and she does have some good music planned for this
Yeah,
this
it's going to be
Sunday.
fun.
Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's just going to be, it's worthy of celebration and recognition of God's faithfulness.
Absolutely. Well, again, like Pastor said, join us. We're going to be here at 10 o'clock, just the one service. Then we're going to have some community where we're going to get together. We're going to eat a little bit and have some fun. And
Yeah.
I understand that Uncle Sam may even show up. I'm not sure about
There might
that.
be a few historical characters present. So
That's great. Well, hopefully you can join us. And with that, God's richest blessings on your week, and hope to see you Sunday.
Thank you for joining us for Peace to You at Peace Lutheran Church in Arvada, Colorado. If you have no church home, we'd be delighted for you to join us at 5675 Field Street in Arvada. Services are at 8 and 10:30 a.m., with Bible classes for all ages at 9:15 a.m. You can easily access our services online on our YouTube channel, Peace Arvada at youtube.com, or wherever podcasts are found. Coming this January, tune in to the new video podcast at Peace to You on youtube.com, or listen wherever podcasts are found. Now, from the entire broadcast team at Peace Lutheran in Arvada, I'm Reuben Hollenbeck, and may the peace of our Lord be with you now and always.